Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Joe Flash, and welcome back to Injustice Gods Among Us for the Wii U Classic Battles on very easy difficulty with all the characters. We're about to get ready now to get into our next character, our next supervillain character to play as, completing Classic Battles on very easy difficulty with all the characters in this game. In the last video, we did Deathstroke, which was a pretty good one. I enjoyed playing as Deathstroke in that video. But now it's time to get into another supervillain. And apparently we do have to face some of the supervillains we'll have to play as later on here. As you can see, two big guys, Doomsday and Bane, are some of our opponents we'll have to face on whoever we choose. So these two I'll have to play as eventually at some point later. But never mind, let's get into who I'm going to pick for the next character. Now, you may have already seen the thumbnail, so you probably have already guessed it. But I've decided, it took me a little bit of time to think about which character I wanted to do next. Because other than Joker, Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Deathstroke, the rest of the villains don't really seem too interested to me, you know? I mean, even Lex Luthor a little bit, but still not as much as compared to, like, the rest of these other villains and stuff. But really, the only ones that just stand out to me is Joker, Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Deathstroke. They're the only four that I find the most entertained to play with, so every other villain on the roster here is just not something that I'm really too interested in wanting to play as them, you know what I mean? So they're characters I don't play as too often, therefore not knowing too much about their movesets and all that kind of stuff. But when I decided to try to choose on who I wanted to play as next, I tried my best to go with what character I believe I know more of next, and pretty much out of the rest of the characters we have left to complete here on the roster, which is so far Solomon Grundy, Doomsday, Killer Frost, Ares, Sinestro, and Black Adam and Bane. Out of all those 7 remaining characters we have to play as, pretty much when I thought about it, ultimately, Sinestro was my choice, because just looking back at all 7 of them, obviously I know a bit more about Sinestro than I do with the others. I still don't know Sinestro entirely well, but I understand him at least enough where I've seen him on multiple occasions of him being one of the arch nemesis of the Green Lantern, and so forth. So I've decided I'll choose Sinestro next, ladies and gentlemen, the Yellow Lantern himself. And how appropriate is it that he's on the bottom right next to Green Lantern as well? It's pretty cool, because if you actually take a look at some of the villains here, you can actually see some of their villains are kind of almost on the same row as their heroes. You can see Joker and Batman, you know, Lex Luthor and Superman, Wonder Woman and Ares, and Green Lantern and Sinestro. And you can even see Black Adam and Shazam. I just realized that now, that some of the heroes and their villains are kind of standing side by side with each other, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of cool, actually. Anyway, so as I said, I'm going to choose Sinestro next. Now, since I don't play as Sinestro too often, neither did I play as Green Lantern too often prior to when I did that video of him, it's hard for me to decide on who I like more. Do I like the Green Lantern more or Sinestro? Because I even asked that question when I played as Green Lantern on which one I like more, so we're going to find out on which Lantern I like more to play as if I was to play between the two. Do I like playing as Green Lantern more or Sinestro? So I'm about to find out right now which one I like better. So we've already done Green Lantern. Now we're going to play as Sinestro and see how he goes. So let's do it. Now, ultimately, if you've seen my last video with Deathstroke or any of the other previous videos where I talked about Sinestro and his 2 costumes, then you probably have already taken a guess on which costume I've decided I'm going to go for when I play as Sinestro. Especially if you've seen the thumbnail as well. And plus, I think in my last video with Deathstroke, I think I confirmed which costume I was going to select him in. Or maybe it was the previous video, but with Catwoman. But one of the two, I confirmed which costume I was going to play as him in. And so, it's his regime outfit. His normal outfit here is fine. It's just the classic, standard, traditional Yellow Lantern look for him. But I like his regime outfit a little more because he looks more like a warrior. And plus, it makes a perfect fitting for him in the story mode when he works for Regime Superman. So, you know, when we get into story mode, you'll see him in the costume, of course. So, it just looks cooler. Like, he looks like he has more armor on. He has a helmet on, too, which makes him look like a warrior. It just looks so much cooler, in my opinion. So, I knew right from the beginning I was going to probably choose him in his Regime outfit. And ultimately, I decided to. So, we're going to go ahead and pick Sinestro in his Regime outfit. Yes, Sinestro indeed. And of course, as always, very easy. So here we go, guys. Injustice Gods Among Us for the Wii U. Classic battles on very easy difficulty with Sinestro. Let's do it. Apparently looks like all the starting people we have to face are villains, and the rest of the remaining row towards Superman is heroes. It looked like it, because I saw Nightwing, Flash, Aquaman, so it looks, and Cyborg, so it looks like the starting row, like the half part of the row is villains, like the starting half row is villains, and then the ending half row before you face Superman are heroes, so that's pretty cool. I like that.
You will know the meaning of fear.
So here we go. Bane is our first opponent, as we saw on the screen. Let's go ahead and get right into it. This is our world's Bane, of course. Not the Regan Bane, otherwise he would have looked different. Now, Sinestro, he's got some pretty cool moves. Like I said, he's got some pretty nice moves going on here. Let's do a throw. His throw is pretty nice. I do like his throw. So let's see what moves he's got. Ooh, I like that one, the Fear Blast. Even though it's called Fear Blast, it seems that he just does like a... It seems that he just does like a... Oh, no, the impact... It's this move, the Arachnid Sting. Okay, that's what it's called, the Arachnid Sting. This one is called the Impact Event. This one is the Fear Blast, or... Oh, no, that one's called the Final Shackles, where he traps his opponent for a little while, which you can also do it in the air as well, I think. Oh, no, he does that. The Axle of Terror. Look at this. Nice. And then this is the Fear Blast. That's the Fear Blast. Okay, sorry, I was trying to work out his movesets, because I haven't played a Sinestro in quite some time here. But anyway, let's see if I can get him over here and try to hit him with the stage transition. There we go. Not the perfect way to end off Bane, but it'll work. So Sinestro only has about 5 special moves. So Sinestro only has 5 special moves. So it's really not a lot at all, but they're pretty cool in a sense, though. So he's got some pretty nice little special moves in his arsenal. You know, like I said, there's only 5, but not too bad, though. So he's got some pretty nice ones there. Anyway, Catwoman is next. Catwoman is our second opponent. Sorry if you didn't see what I'm doing here. I was putting my sensor bar back on the table. I kind of had it. I mean, I don't need the sensor bar for this game, but it's for when I play a game later on after I do this video. Like, I'll be playing a game that I play off of my YouTube channel, you know? Anyway, here's Catwoman. Alright, Arkham Asylum. Nice stage. I do like it. Ooh, that was a nice one. Double swiper. Ooh, got me. Fear Blast. Try that again. Now, what does A button do? I haven't tried his A button yet. Ooh, what does that do? He's got something around him. Oh, man, I would have wanted to figure out what that does, honestly. I wish I could have figured out what was going to happen there, but... Oh, well. Let's try it. Actually, let's try it again. Now that she got some health back. Oh, it's like a little gun thing where you get 3 shots to hit an opponent with it. Alright. I'm guessing it stays there until you waste all 3 of the shots? I don't know. That was kind of interesting. Let me see that again. What is this? So, like, acid or something? I don't know what that is. That's a bit of a weird move, but it's actually kind of interesting in a sense. Especially if I was to try to hit a combo with that, I could probably hit somebody with that thing. I might actually try it in a bit. I might actually try it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it on Catwoman with a combo. Actually, you know what? No, because I got my super move, so let me try hit it. There we go. Now, Sinestro's super move's not too bad here. Check this out. Or I think actually we've seen it before, I think he's performed it on me before, I don't remember, but I think he has in one of my previous videos, I believe, when I was facing him. But yep, that's his super move, though. So not bad. It's not bad, you know? It's not the best, but it's okay in a sense, though. It's a little interesting, you know, super move in a way. I still think the Green Lantern has a better super move in regards, though, if you were to say which one has better super moves, Sinestro or Green Lantern. Definitely Green Lantern. And even though I'm just only playing as Sinestro, getting back into him, I have to admit, even though Sinestro has some nice special moves, I think Green Lantern still has the better super moves and special moves in the end. So if I was to decide on which one I have to choose on who I would play as more between Green Lantern and Sinestro, I think after just from what I observed, learning about the super special moves from Sinestro, I think I still pick the Green Lantern overall. Like I said, Sinestro's got some good super special moves as well, but ultimately, I think the Green Lantern takes the W. But like I said, he's got some good ones here. It's not too bad, you know. But still, I think Green Lantern's got the better super special moves. Anyway, here's Doomsday. So we're obviously taking good care of him so far. Regime Doomsday, should I say. Did he say be afraid? I think I could have sworn that's what he said. Could be tripping, but let's try to use this thing in a combo. I'm actually going to try to perform combos with this thing now. There we go. I mean, I wasn't a full combo like I would have wanted, which would have been really awesome, but... Alright. He was using his super armor there, so I couldn't really damage him for a bit, but you can still get some cheap damage off of Doomsday even when he has a super armor, so that's why I didn't resist on fighting him, as you saw there, even though I hate his super armor, but never mind. Still got the job done, ultimately. Kept doing combos in the corner. Ares. Alright. And I do obviously see that Harley Quinn will be next, so after Ares will be Harley Quinn. And we're fighting in Metropolis, the Regime version of Metropolis. Now, Ares is a character we don't exactly normally get to fight too often in this game, so this is very rare that I ever get to fight Ares, to be fair with y'all. Ooh, and it's Regime Ares. Nice. The Regime Ares. I do recognize it. But the first time I did see Ares in both of his costumes, it did take me a bit of a hard time for me to try to figure out which costume was which, but I looked at the belt buckle that Regime Ares has. He has a belt buckle, and Arwol's Ares kind of doesn't. And he has, like, more armor going on in his bodysuit compared to Regime Ares. His looks more like just the... You know what I mean. Like, I looked at the differences. And plus, Regime's Ares helmet is a bit different compared to Arwol's Ares' helmet as well. So I managed to spot a bit of major differences to make it easier to tell the difference between our two Ares and to see the difference between Arwol's Ares and Regime Ares. So this is Regime Ares that we're fighting. Now, although he is Regime, there is a bit of an interesting thing that he does in story mode, which you'll see that when we get into it. I mean, if you've already played through story mode, then maybe, or if you've seen story mode on YouTube, then maybe you already know what I'm talking about, but there's a bit of an interesting thing that Ares does in his world, in the Injustice world. You know, Regime Ares is, you know, he's a bit different in a sense, you know, because it's crazy for the fact that he's considered a Regime member, but there's a little bit of an interesting thing that he does in story mode, which we will see that when we do play story mode eventually later on. You'll see what I'm talking about by then. I would tell you here, but I'm just going to let the story mode speak for itself. It's not really hard to explain it, but I don't want to really give off too many spoilers before story mode, even if you guys have already seen it and played it. I just want to wait to get into story mode myself, because I just want to let the story speak for itself, because I really love the story mode, you know? So more than likely, when I get into story mode, I'm not going to be commentating a whole lot. The only times I'll probably be commentating, playing through story mode, is whenever we go into battle fights, like when we have to play as a character to fight someone and all that, because those are really the only rest times that we kind of will get to have an opportunity to commentate, because we have to watch and listen to the story, you know what I mean? So those are the only times I'll probably ever commentate if I get into story mode, just to let y'all know. Anyway, here we go. We're fighting Harley Quinn in Joker's Asylum. Very appropriate stage for us to be fighting her in. Oh, she blocked that. Oh. Let's stab her with my throw. If I can get her, there we go. Right in the chest. Ooh, froze her. Boing! Just tearing the crap out of Harley. I love it. I love this game. I still really love this game, y'all, just to let you know. This game is so much fun to play. I'm surprised she actually avoided that. She didn't get hit by that. I'm so surprised. I thought that was going to hit her. Well, that will. Oh, I'm surprised I was able to jump at the right time to avoid her hammer hit. I'm really actually surprised that worked. We both hit our special moves. Alright, I'm going to try my super move on Harley Quinn now. That's actually what I was waiting for. Here we go. Did you hear her screaming as we were taking her into the portal? How funny was that? What the heck was that scream? Anyway, Harley Quinn's finished. So now we await the next opponent. Get the heck out of here. I forgot to mention, that's actually not a bad victory pose for Sinestro. I actually quite like that. It's not the best, but it's actually a bit of an interesting one in a sense. Okay, so all the supervillains are taken care of, so now we're facing all superheroes from here on out until we reach up to Regime Superman. So yeah, my hunch was correct. We were facing all villains through most of the half, or some of the half, and then the rest of the half was heroes. It wasn't completely split in half, but you get the point. So here we go. We're now just facing superheroes from here on out. Or actually, no, it is completely split to superheroes, because even though Superman is a villain in this game, technically when you look at it, there's 5 heroes. Superman, Nightwing, The Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman, if I'm not mistaken, if that was correct. So technically it still counts as heroes, you know? Because most people, even if Superman's evil in this version of the game, we obviously still recognize him as a hero, because that's how he's presented in most of other worlds. Oh, I thought that was going to put him in the stage transition. Whoops. Hang on, let me get Nightwing in there. Love that outfit he's wearing. That's the new 52 Nightwing costume. That's the costume I played Nightwing in when I played as him in one of my previous videos when I went through Classic Battles Very Easy Difficulty with him. I love that new 52 costume. Such an awesome costume. I mean, look at that. I mean, just look how tight and look how clean that costume looks. It's just so awesome. I love it. Now, I didn't mean like tight. I wasn't meaning that kind of tight, just to let y'all know if you thought I was talking like in a crazier way. It's not like that at all, guys. Plus, I'm not gay, just to let you know. I didn't really have to get into that, but I just thought I'd let y'all know, in case if y'all misunderstood me there. Anyway, I'm going to back up here. I'm actually going to try to put Nightwing back in the other stage transition. So, here we go. Oh, man, I didn't mean to actually throw. I actually meant to... I actually somehow pressed my throw button by accident when I was trying to do this. Anyway, there we go. There we go. Nightwing is now finished. Night-night, Nightwing. Yes, indeed, you will submit. I mean, look how cool that is. It's like he just captures his opponent as a prisoner, and you just see them struggling just to try to get out as he's posing in front of the camera. It's not a bad victory pose for Sinestro. Quite like it. So I think that was Aquaman who was next, just to let you know. I don't know why I went silent for a moment. I don't know what I was even thinking at that moment. I was just giving myself a little rest from talking, because, you know, kind of talking for a long time can really damage my voice, sort of. But I'm good. So, yep, it is Aquaman. Come on, Aquaman, what you gonna do, man? Thought you were the king of Atlantis, bro. You don't seem to be doing a damn thing. Well, I mean, it's obviously because I have it on very easy. I know that. I'm just toying with him. But then again, I really shouldn't be trying to toy with people too much, I feel like, so I better be careful what I'm saying. I guess it's only fair enough he was going to use the Clash. He was going to use the Clash on me because he kind of was in a lot of trouble there, just to be fair. I really did damage him pretty hard. I can't remember if there is a stage transition we can do here or not. I'm actually going to try to back up here and wait for Aquaman to get closer to me to see if I can perform it. I think there is. I don't know. I think this is it. Yes, there is. Okay, I was right. I just don't normally do this stage transition too often, but I really should do it more often because that part of the stage transition is pretty awesome. This little machine thing that comes out. It's pretty awesome. I like it. Charge my ring up. He actually tried to stop me there. Oh, I missed a shot. Shoot him! Shotgun! I was gonna almost hit my super move, but as soon as I was able to realize that he didn't have much health left, I was like, nah, I can't do it, so I'm just gonna do a different attack on him. Usually one of my main priority goals I usually always seem to find myself trying to do whenever I play through every character on very easy difficulty, classic battles with every character, and Injustice Gods Among Us, is trying to perform their super move at least once, or even trying to hit that stage transition on Superman when we get into him, like when we fight him in his Fortress of Solitude stage. Like I always for some reason like to try to put him in that stage transition I love putting him on. I always do that for some reason. It's like one of my two main things I've been doing in almost every video playing through with all these characters is hoping to do their super move at least once, and then do that stage transition on Superman once when we fight him eventually. So those are like my two main goals I feel like I do a lot in all these videos. They're not really my main goals, but I kind of feel in a sense they would be because I do them quite a lot. As I'm seeing here, I'm starting to realize it. And of course I am aware that this is Regime Flash, so it's pretty awesome that we're fighting him in his Regime outfit. Do love this Regime outfit a lot more than our Wolf Flash's costume. I love that weapon. It's such a good weapon. I'm actually going to try it again. Okay, no, he jumped over me this time. Wow. Let's try again. I love it. It's just so awesome. I haven't done this special move in quite some time, so I'm actually going to try it again. Yes, that one where you can go in the air. And let's do a Fear Blast for the win. So yeah, that's the super move I haven't really been performing quite a lot, is the Axe of Terror move, which you can perform in the air. As you saw me, I jumped in the air and then quickly tapped down, left, and then Y to do his Axe of Terror. You have to do that in the air, so. I was trying to think of what special move I wanted to perform, and I realized I hadn't performed the Axe of Terror in a bit since like the beginning, so I was like, I need to actually perform this move again, because that's a move that I haven't been using too often. It's not the best move, but it hasn't been a move I've been using quite frequently, so I might need to try it again. But I did. Anyway, we're almost finished. As you saw on the screen there, we have 2 more people left to fight. Second to last we have here is Cyborg, and then of course we'll head on over to Regime Superman after him and face him for the final boss. And it's our World's Flash this time. I mean, our World's Cyborg Scars. Dang it, sorry, I forgot who we were fighting at first. I forgot we already took care of Flash. It's Cyborg that we're fighting. I don't know why I said Flash. Sorry. Oh, hey, it's that... Who's that character's name? That statue? Stargirl. I believe that's her name, Stargirl. That's a character in the DC Universe. I remember her name. She's not featured too often in the DC Universe, but I do know she's been frequently featured in some times in comics, and she does have like a live-action series, if I'm not mistaken, so I'm surprised I was able to remember her name. There's other statues of characters as well. I think that's I heard that dude with the cape, I think that was the guy who used to be a Green Lantern. I remember I heard there was a Green Lantern with cape at one point. I think that's who that statue is. I don't know who that statue is over there. I don't know if that's Mira, Aquaman's wife. Nah, that can't be. And I do obviously recognize Hawkman right there next to this robot. That's an easy recognition. Here we go. Let's put him in the stage transition. Take him on over to Atom Smasher and Giganta. I still don't have a clue if that's really Giganta. I don't know maybe if that is Giganta. To be fair, she's kind of dressed more like it's Vixen. So maybe that might actually be Vixen. Who knows? Could be wrong. Look at the Hall of Justice. Look how cool this place is. A lot of references to some superheroes up in here. There's a statue of Regime Superman, obviously. There's a few other references to other superheroes in here, as you can see. I don't think I can recognize who those heroes are or those statues. I can't really seem to recognize anybody in there. I can't recognize those heroes. I think they might be just the other Justice League members. Yeah, Green Arrow, The Flash. I believe that's Batman. Okay, yeah, so these are just the other heroes that Superman wished would have bowed to his authority, but Batman was the only one that rejected him, and Green Arrow. So I get it now. I saw what it is. And there's some costumes in the background, as you can see, of some certain heroes from the past, like Wildcat, I believe that's who it is. There's Dr. Fate. There's Question. I barely remember Question. Surprised I even remembered his name. So yeah, I was trying to take observation to see if I could recognize those heroes and whatnot. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I only have 15 seconds left. I better hurry up and finish him off. I'll win anyway, even if the seconds do run out, but I want to finish him off legit. You know, I don't want the time to run out. And obviously that'll take care of Cyborg, so now we're ready to face Regime Superman as the final boss. Now, the one thing that's interesting about Sinestro's pose, he does the same pose, but when you're standing on the right side of the opponent, like when your opponent's on the left and you're on the right, you can see that he puts his arm out on his left. But then when you win when he's on the left side and then your opponent's on the right side, as you saw from the previous times we won with him, he pretty much puts his arm onto his right, like he's putting his fist near to his right arm, you know what I'm saying? If you've gone back and watched the poses he did in the previous times, you know that. So there's it's the same victory pose, but it's done a bit differently depending on which side you're standing on from the character when you win with Sinestro. So that's kind of cool, actually. Anyway, Superman is the final boss. Let's go ahead and get him taken care of. Alright, Superman. Whoa! Wow. I really did not think that was going to work because of how high in the air he was. I cannot believe that actually worked. I am actually shocked by that. Really did not think that was going to work, but I just thought I'd give it a try because I just thought I'd try something cool. I'm surprised it actually worked. I can't believe that. It was already shocking enough when I did it to him a previous time with another character, and surprised I was able to time it correctly after he got pushed into the portal because I forced him in there. And I did it again, and somehow I actually got lucky enough to do it again. How on earth did I get lucky there? I don't even think I deserved that, to be honest, but surprising I managed to make it work. Okay, now I'm just having too much fun toying with him now. Squirted him 3 times with that thing, whatever, and now I'm putting him in the state transition back to the other side of his Fortress of Solitude. Kind of teasing him a little bit too much here. I better be careful because I could piss him off, so I better watch myself. Now I'm going to try to attempt to... you know what? Might as well just hit me so he can fill it up even faster. I was going to try to hit my super move, as I was saying, but I had a chip left, and I didn't want to accidentally hit him with one of my special moves, otherwise the full force can't connect. But he performed his super move, which obviously allowed it to be filled up faster, so now I get to perform my super move, and this shall hopefully finish Superman off. And yes, it will. Regime Sinestro defeats Regime Superman. And that is it, you guys. So I kind of was having a little bit too much fun with Superman there when I toyed him with that little squirt thingamajig, whatever that thing was, and then at least I'm glad I didn't piss him off. I wasn't going to be surprised if he was going to get pissed off about it and he was going to start fighting back like crazy, you know. But surprisingly, he was still being a nice guy. Anyway, Superman is once again defeated, banished to the Phantom Zone as usual. That's the end of Regime Superman. And now that he's finished, we shall get Sinestro's ending.
When Superman's One Earth regime proved to be a failure similar to his on Korrigar, Sinestro retreated to deep space to ruminate on its demise. Fear had long seemed the most powerful of the emotions with which to bring order to the universe, yet it had not been enough. Desperate, Sinestro hurled the might of the Sinestro core against the life entity, keeper of the White Power Battery. Ultimately victorious, Sinestro now wielded the power of a White Lantern. No adversary could possibly withstand him. The light of the Green Lantern core would be the first he would extinguish.
Wow. So obviously Sinestro did not quit being evil, and he turned to the White Lantern core and defeated him. I did hear in some ways, I think the White Lantern core is the most powerful one all. It's like the most legendary in a sense. I don't know what it means on what happens for a White Lantern, on what they become or what their stances are. Like, you know, the Yellow Lanterns is fear and the Green Lanterns are willpower. I don't know what the White Lantern means. I don't know. The only White Lantern I've ever heard of was Kal Rayner, which, in a sense, he was confused by Hal Jordan sometimes because of his hairstyle and because he wore a mask on his eyes just like Hal Jordan did, which even I confused him as a kid when I saw one episode of Superman, the animated series, called In Brightest Day, when it was him instead of Hal Jordan. I thought he was Hal Jordan, he just had a different name. But it was really just Kal Rayner himself when he was still a Green Lantern at the time. Not to mention, though, that Hal Jordan's name does get mentioned in the episode, even if he never appeared, you know, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I used to always get Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner confused, but now to this day I understand they're different people, they're not the same. And like I said, Kyle Rayner is a former Green Lantern, but nowadays he's now a White Lantern as he's presented from what I heard. He's the only White Lantern I ever known. That's about it. I don't really know about all my lanterns. There's quite a lot of lanterns. I know that there's a red, orange, yellow, green. I think there is a blue, and there is a purple and a pink, and I think white. I think that's the colors of all the lanterns, if I'm not mistaken. I hope that's correct. But anyway, you guys, we just did it. We completed Injustice Gods Among Us. Another... excuse me, sorry, I don't know why I'm thinking. We completed Classic Battles on very easy difficulty with another character in Injustice Gods Among Us for the Wii U, Sinestro. So now that we've done Sinestro, stay tuned for the next video, and I shall get into the next character for the next video. But until then, I'm out of here, y'all. Y'all take care. That'll be it for today, guys. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Dislike to give it a thumbs down. Join me next time for the next video. To all you boys, men, and guys out there, boom. This one's good to all of you. And to all the girls, ladies, and women out there, mwah, kiss to all of you. But until then, this is Joe Flash signing off, and have a good day.